G'day guys, today I'm going to do a little bit of, well, angle grinder safety. Angle grinder safety, yes, you see people who go around with angle grinders and, they're quite, lax about the safety of angle grinders. But angle grinders, they can cut your fingers and at times cut tendons, cut so far into your skin they cut tendons and damage your joints and even cut into your bone. They spin at extremely high pace, and you think about it, they are designed to tear through metal. Is your skin tougher than metal? No. So when you look at that, these things are designed for heavy duty, and if they go against your skin while spinning at full rate, they can cut you very badly. Now, with an angle grinder, there's multiple different types of angle grinders, from small ones to even those little Dremels. They're virtually a angle grinder style tool, to the really big industrial, big blade versions. I've actually used one of those, and they can be, for first time use they can be quite scary. There's a few things you need to know. You need to get a good grip on these, because you don't want them accidentally hitting something that they shouldn't and then flicking around. They can flick around, smack your arms, smack your hands, can even go back up into your own face. Whoops, I knocked the little... There we go. Now, with angle grinders, there's multiple different blades you can have for them. From the thin cutting blade to the big fat grinding blades. So as they are designed, cutting is to cut into pieces, whilst the grinder is just to whittle away surface. You then got you can even get sanding blades, and of course they're just a higher speed, higher pace version of the sandpaper that's glued to a plate. Now I don't have it in this box here, but there is actually a wood cutting blade. You can get masonry blades, all sorts of blades, but each one have their requirements and what you can and cannot do with them. So things like the ceramic blades, or for cutting into cement and that, quite often you need some form of lubrication. Otherwise you are going to heat the blades up and they're going to go bang. Also, whilst you're doing some angle grinding, with your angle grinder, doing some cutting, whatever you're cutting into, make sure you don't twist as you're cutting into. That can cause these blades to shatter and also have pieces go flying everywhere, or cause it to break and fling the piece you're working on all over the place, or cause the angle grinder itself to fling out of your hands. I go lose that little piece in the side there again. Better pick it up and make sure I don't keep losing it and actually do these things up. Now, once you've got your blade selected for the task you're doing, and you can use, a cutting blade for grinding, but you whittle these things up way so quickly when you try and do that. You can even cut with an angle grind, with a grinding blade. But because of the size of the blade, you're cutting through a lot more metal, so you're wasting time. So, it's an idea to save yourself by using the right blades. Now, when you're putting the blades in, make sure you've got the right section. Quite a lot of these have got two sections. You've got a little part with a lip and a part where it just sits flat. That is designed to fit the various size blades. So with a cutting blade, you use the more flatter side. And when you do these, don't just loosely do it. That causes these blades to then be able to slip around whilst you're trying to cut. There is a knob here on quite a lot of angle grinders, that once you get it in fully, it locks the head itself, or the gears, so that you can then use the proper tool for tightening them up. And once you've got it reasonably tight, and not like loose tight, but you've put a really good force behind it, using your arm as a leverage and the other hand and just pull it together. Then that blade is not going anywhere, other than getting whittled down or broken whilst used. And when you're using these, as I said, make sure you got a good grip on them. And when you've got a good grip on them, they're not going to go all over the place. And you see some people that just loosely hold it in one hand and do the job they do. I mean, there's times where you've got to do that. I mean, most of the times when I do angle grinding at home, which is mainly where I do this sort of thing because, well, it's a hobby. I'm holding on to an object one hand and trying to angle grind. I live in an apartment. I just don't have the garage to have all of the vices and the equipment. That's just my life. I would love to have a garage where I could do that sort of thing, but I don't. I don't have the shed, mate. And also one of these things, you got to be mindful of glass. Glass and metal melts virtually at the same temperature, especially iron. Iron melts at roughly about 1,300 degrees Celsius, depending on your atmospheric pressure, of course, and all that science stuff. But glass also melts roughly about 1,200 degrees Celsius. Depending on the makeup of the glass, you get some glass you can get up to about 1,600 degrees Celsius before it melts. But you think about it, those little sparks you see come off, that's melted metal. So you take the temperature of what that metal is, and let's just say those red sparks are hard enough to melt glass. So be mindful when you're working around glass as well. Now other things. Let's get your eyewear. These are just cheap plastic eyewear you can get just about from any hardware shop. Even auto shops, you can get them. They're cheap, and you just slam them on. They're easy to put on. It only takes you a couple of seconds to throw them on. I've had metal shard in my eyes, and that was angle grind. That was a bench grinder grinding an axe blade, and it is easy to do. No matter how careful you think, or you got it getting it at the right angle of your cutting, they fly everywhere. And it's nothing for a piece of metal to go flying up into your eye, and then you've got permanent damage. Not temporary damage, but permanent. Your eyeballs are very sensitive. And I know at times they don't look stylish and that, but you can get them if you so want to. You can hunt and find ones that you find are stylish. They're safety glasses. And these ones are probably due to be replaced because they're quite scratched up. Your ears. Earmuffs. Or even just those ones that sit in your ears to block your ear. I mean, once again, if you've got it, just grab it, throw it on. It doesn't take long to throw one of these on. It takes, less time to throw one of these on than just cutting a little piece. Then setting up your blade. I mean, you spend your time setting up your blade and setting up your angle grinder and connecting it to power. It takes less time to throw one of these on. And there is things called industrial deafness. I've got tinnitus because when I was about 10, 11 years of age, I was blowing up a bike tyre. And because I was young and dumb, I blew the tyre up. And so when the sound levels is quiet enough, or at certain times, I get an irritating ring in my ears, and that is permanent damage. That is never going to go away, and that is actually only going to get worse over time. I'm 34 years old. So yeah, that is permanent damage. And also, cheap leather gloves from any hardware shop. And once again, it's not that big a deal to throw them on. And that's one glove. 2 gloves. I mean, yeah. And these are not bad in grip. And cowhide is virtually cow skin that's made in a way that's much more durable. But it's nothing. I mean, that you will save yourself from being cut. You will save yourself a lot of damage. And it means, if the blade actually does get, the angle grinder does get knocked out of your hand and the blade hits your hand, it's going to tear in this instead of your skin. And this, because it's leather and it's being treated, it is tougher than your own skin. And plus also, you can handle a lot more heat with these for a little bit longer, so you can actually continue cutting for longer. And this is just simple safety that you can do with your angle grinders. And you know what? It is your life. So why don't you look after yourselves? Do yourself certain favours. Buy roughly about $50 worth of stuff to protect yourself. And yeah, it is your life. Why don't you look after yourself? Hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day.